What's up, guys? Today we are doing the exhaust cam ledge bolts on this BMW M4. It's going to be a fun one to get down there, but for the most part, major disassembly isn't too bad because we don't have too much to do here. This is going to be pretty straightforward up until we get to the valve cover. So I'm just gonna skip until then because there's plenty of videos out on how to get to your valve cover, like any spark plug tutorials or anything like that. So we have the battery disconnected and we're gonna pull all this off. All right, so we have the valve cover off. With the air to water intercooler, all you have to do is just disconnect this upper J-pipe hose, obviously the charge pipes, and then you could just pop it up off the grommets in each corner and then just slide it off to the side. It's worked great for us so far, and we are down where we need to be. So we got the old valve cover off. This is the new one that we got from Vader Solutions. And yeah, that's all the parts that we got taken off. Yeah, lots of parts, BMW things. But now we are down to where the job changes for doing the exhaust cam bolts, because for those, no one apparently does a DIY for that. So far I already pulled out 2 of these bolts. Hopefully you guys could see this well. It does have a washer on it and slide area, and then threads. So you just want to make sure, keep this together. I'm just lining everything up so everything stays in the correct spot. 1 all the way to 6 over here, and then 1 to 6 over here for the injectors. And yeah, so all you gotta do now is to head into here. You got 1 T30 bolt on this side and 1 T30 on this side. Just want to make sure you don't drop those in because that's probably not a good time. So I'm gonna break these loose. If you trust using power tools for this step, go for it. Personally, not my cup of tea. So here we are doing it with our mighty snap-on that I found in my old 350Z. What I've just been doing is just dragging this thing right along the side just to make sure you don't lose it. It's been working so far, keeping it with the washer. Let's do the same thing 3 more times. Okay, so now we got the bolt out of the injector wells. And I believe now we should be able to just pop these up, just like that. And you can see there's still the gasket on there that we will pull off. This one out. Three. So the whole point of that is to give us access to these bolts up along here. And that's what causes the ticking sound that we have on cold start, which is stupid because the factory couldn't just do it right the first time. So we're just gonna pull out these gaskets too. Keep in mind how they're oriented. So you got this flat piece on the right side. Same thing over here. Just stack these. If you were to go further and didn't do this the way we do it, you need timing tools, which makes it less fun, less DIY-able. So what we do here is we're gonna take off each of these bolts one by one, and then we're gonna put them back on as we go. Here's the sequence that we have to do all these bolts. So we're gonna be starting essentially from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So it's going to be working from the center outwards. So we'll replace each bolt one by one. So these are stretch bolts. So after they're put in, they're torqued to spec. And then after that torque is done, then you use an angle measurement. That measurement gives you the correct stretch amount in each bolt. So that's how we do it. So here's the 3 bolts over here that are on the right side. So you got 9 and 10 here, 5 and 6, and then we got 1 and 2. So we're gonna start here at 1. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Got new gloves. We got our E10 over here, and that's gonna be what we use for our bolts. And here are our new bolts. It is essential that you do replace these bolts and you do not reuse them. Number 1, so 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be this bolt right here. Oh, that's tight, dude. I'm gonna try our 1/4 inch first.
Holy crud, BMW.
Okay, that's one bolt out. And just so you guys can see, these are very slightly not equal because this one was abused by the factory. So this one we're gonna slide straight back in. Okay, so we're gonna get that kind of like hand tight basically. And we got our torque wrench here for our baby torque numbers. This one we are going to set with my great thing here to 8 Newton meters, 70.81. All right, now we do this to 8 Newton meters, aka what was the torque spec?
70.81 inch-pounds.
All right, it's right there. We are at 8. So I don't know why this is only a 1/2 inch tool, but here we are. First, you get this onto here. Okay, and now we have our socket correctly set. Let's take this cable and just run it through here for now. And this is what keeps your torque where it's supposed to be at 0. Right there. Okay. And now we do our 60 degrees. So now we just want to turn this until we get to that 60-degree mark. She's right there. And there we go. It's 1 done. And 14 to go. Okay, so we got the cam bolts all set. They're torqued properly, angled as per ISTA. That's all good. Now we could get these injector wells back on with their new gaskets and get everything buttoned back together. Hey guys, here we are 3 days later. We got everything buttoned up for the most part. Still got to throw on the final pieces, but here we are doing like a little test just to make sure all our fuel injectors are good, not leaking, no issues there. We did have one leak, but we tightened that up. It's all good now. And we had the cylinder 6 fully not plugged in, so that threw a code, but we fixed that too. For this valve cover, we ended up having to just slice it right there, turn it into 3 pieces essentially, took out the middle piece because it just did not fit with the charge pipes. This is supposed to be for the S55s too, but it's clearly a N55 valve cover, but it does work. You just gotta modify it to make stuff fit because this rail has to latch onto here because it's nowhere else. The dust shield does go on after this. We gotta throw that on, and then the aluminum brace and the carbon brace, and then get it all buttoned up. We're good to go. All right, so here we are. Sound is now gone.